In this video, we're going to talk about the new skins for December in New World. And as ever, there are some questionable ones, but I want to talk about skins in a more broad sense, just a little bit as well in this video. So it's that time where they show us what skins they're going to deliver us for the month of December. And this is how they start off. Importantly, there's also a sale that is coming in 3 waves. Now, this sale looks a little bit better than the Black Friday one because it's actually like 1 skin at a time. So if you actually like the skin, it's not an insane amount to buy it. Now, the first item they show off is the free item. This is available from December 6th to December 20th. So you've got to go in the store and claim this. This should be available right now, actually. Very classic, sort of like an American British musketeer from, I don't know, the 1800s, 1700s, something like that. I really like this one. These are perfect. I wish you could dye them, but that sounds like it's coming, so that should be pretty exciting. And there are the actual items that are available if you want to go and get them for free. Like, why wouldn't you? Then on December 20th to Jan 5th, then it actually changes, and you can see you get these sort of like Hunter's Festive like hood and coat, and a weapon as well as a reef. The Convergence reef, I actually don't know what that is. Maybe it's what's in the background there, shining on the fireplace. It looks quite cool, to be fair. Okay, this is the first paid skin. It's called the Winter Stag, and my opinion is, what are those? Like, what is that? It's weird because I actually think if you take them out of New World, these skins look sort of intriguing and interesting. I'm not really a fan of these like little horny things that they have here. I mean, they actually have like proper horns, and then they've got what appears to be like present horns, and I just think it's a bit weird. If you ignore the helm, I think the rest of this is perfectly passable. I think you could use it in some like transmog. It'd be actually quite cool. But yeah, the helm, I just look at it, I'm like, what is that? You can pick that up for 15,000 marks of fortune though. Weirdly, these are the kind of things that I end up buying because I'm like, hey, if I want to look ridiculous, I go ahead and buy these. Speaking about ridiculous, this sort of, to me, looks a little bit like, I don't know, it reminds me of a turkey because of, I don't know, that sort of reminds me of feathers. I mean, again, it's like a turkey mixed with Egyptian theme. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what the theme is here. If this was in RuPaul Drag Race, they'd be like, I don't understand the story of this outfit. I'm presuming it's like an Egyptian Christmas, basically, but I just find it so weird. Individually, I think the items are probably quite fine, but when you put them all together and you end up with this look, I just have to question like why you would want to look like that. Actually, I know why you want to look like that, because as I said, I'm going to buy these and look like that because I just want to look a little bit weird. I just sort of feel like they don't fit the game very well. Now, I don't know if it's the lighting or the colours of the background on this one. I actually quite like this one, the Solstice Night. I'm a big fan of these pastel-y purple colours with a bit of the like pastel-y purpley gold as well. This one I quite like. I think out of the 3 festive ones, this one makes the most sense to me to be like festive, but still maybe a little bit more practical as well. Practical in these kind of armours, probably a bit weird thing to talk about, but I like this one. I mean, for me, it's the best of the 3, so I probably won't buy it. But if you like any of those 3, they are available. Go ahead and buy them. Then we have a weapon skin. This is the Great Sword skin. I mean, it looks fine. I can't really complain about it. Nothing special. It's got a bit of gleamite on the handle. Fine. Always feels like, to me, like 10,000 marks of fortune for just like a weapon always seems quite high. To me, it only really makes sense if you really like that skin. The Winter Shield is interesting on its own, probably would fit with one of the earlier skins that we saw. I think if you just had that combined with anything else, it would maybe look a little bit weird, but if you are going to buy the armor and you are a sword and shield user, then buying this will make sense. Although low price of 8,500 marks. Then we have a hammer. This hammer, I actually quite like this hammer. I think it looks quite good. Quite like this blunderbuss as well. No feedback really. It looks decent. A bit bright, but that's okay. I like the outfit of this more than the actual fire staff itself. Like, you almost can't really see the fire staff. It's very lost. I mean, it looks okay. I'm not sure it's worth the 8,500 marks that it is, but it looks decent. The Solstice Void Gauntlet. If you are gonna go with one of the sort of more brightly coloured outfits, then I do think that this will make a bit more sense. But if you're not, then does it really fit with the armor that they've shown it off as? Probably not. Stuff like the camp skins, I actually think always look quite good. Yes, it's like 20,000 marks, but honestly, that camp, some people they'll be like, I really like that, I'm gonna buy that and use that. Fine. Sort of the same for the second one. Visually very pleasing. There's some housing items, which again I think look completely fine. No qualms here. Nice little festive winter kitty pet, which to be fair, I really like cats, so I might have to pick that one up myself. The emotes, I have a bit of a question about this one. This is the mummy walk, which I just don't get the timing of this one. Why was this not in the Halloween period? Why are we getting this at Christmas? Whatever, it is what it is. Skipping makes perfect sense, festive, you want to skip. crack on. Does anybody actually buy dyes? Like, I just don't get dyes. You can just buy the in-game ones. Are you really that bothered about a slight shift in tone? There's probably like 2 people out there who are like, oh my god, I've never seen them do this shade of green. I'm so excited. But for the most of us, it's like, what is the point of those, I think? Maybe these will make more sense when you can actually dye skins. You can, of course, get them all as a bundle if that's something you want to do. Same for the weapons as well. And then we come to something that's sort of vaguely interesting. There's a 25% discount between December 13th and January 5th. And then these, I think, are just going to leave the store. Now, what's interesting is that some of these are the more popular items in the store. And I look at the Jedi Assassin, and I'm like, I like that on its own. Again, I quite like it, but I just sort of feel like the skins don't really fit in New World all that much. Maybe I just have a bit of a personality thing where I would prefer sort of more gritty and realistic skins. What we seem to get more and more are a little bit more like comical ones and brightly coloured ones. This one's not too bad, but an assassin wearing like insanely bright colours, in my like opinion, just sort of feels weird. Stonebark, if you want to look like a tree dude, crack on. Moonborn, if you want to look like a festive pimp, crack on. Some weapons here, we have the Eternal Flame Firestaff skin, perfectly reasonable. The Void's Golden Touch, I quite like the Void, that gold Void Gauntlet, I think actually looks quite reasonable. They're bringing back this blunderbuss, which is sort of like a classic blunderbuss, so no harms there. Ice Gauntlet looks completely fine as well, no qualms here. Spear, to me that looks a little bit plain, I'm not sure I would pay for it, but fair enough. A shield, now that is a good shield, I like that shield to be fair. A light staff skin, which to me doesn't look all that impressive, but it is what it is. Couple of company crests, quite a few actually, I didn't realise there were so many. They're bringing back the Fortune Teller's Tent, that looks quite cool. Eyes on You emote is back for a limited time, so is the coin toss. Snow Angel is back. Oh, I actually might buy this one. I think I was a bit upset that I missed out on it. I'm more of an emote guy than a skins guy, I think. Oh, you can actually get Gallop. This is one of my favourite ones. I'm a little bit annoyed that they brought this back. I love galloping around people and they're all like, what? As well as that, they're bringing back the skins from last year, so if you want to look like the festive person from last year, you can go ahead and buy these for, again, 25% off. You have Midwinter's Majesty. This helm is something special. Spirit of the Season, what can you say? It just looks weird. The Yuletide Life Staff is back. I mean, fair enough, if you want these, crack on. Ice Gauntlet skin looks completely fine. These skins, honestly, the skins of the weapons and stuff like that, I mean, they look completely passable. There's no real harm. The Winter Star Camp is back. I didn't even realize. I thought that one was one you could just get all the time, but obviously I'm wrong. So is Winter Opulence. So are some of the housing items. There's quite a lot to buy if you want to buy them. But I don't know if it's just me, but as I said before, the tone of New World, in a way, doesn't seem to fit this massively brightly coloured, almost sort of like garish look. I just don't think New World should have gone down this like path as quickly as they did. Sort of feels like to me that a lot of the skins should have been a bit more grounded and a little bit more realistic, and then occasionally you can add something like this and everybody's like, oh my god, wow, look how crazy that is. But we get these month after month after month, and every month they look a little bit weird. Now at this point, I think people are buying them because they're like, yeah, I want to look a little bit weird, I'll take them. I'm not sure they necessarily get people going, I really, really like that, so therefore I'm going to get it. And I would dearly love that to change, but they've probably made the rod for their own back now. It would be hard to tone these down going forward because of the like craziness that they've already brought. I find it a little bit weird because in like a couple of years time, are they going to feel like they have to outdo themselves and go more and more outlandish? I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out. So yeah, it's a bit of a FYI that these are available, but also a bit of a why are these available? It's not just me. A lot of people find the skins in New World to be a little bit comical, but in my opinion, it's sort of the fact that they don't really fit with the game's aesthetic overall. It's like the skins and the world are two different beasts. And then every time we see these skins, we're sort of fighting that juxtaposition a little bit. In a different game, in a different setting, I think these skins would be perfectly reasonable. But in New World, they just feel weirdly out of play. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I would be genuinely interested in your thoughts here. Big shout out to my YouTube members. I do really appreciate you guys. If you want to support the channel, that really is the best way to do so. What you should definitely do though is have a most beautiful day. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.